Happy Lunar New Year! It's the year of the dragon, and I created this makeup look. Let's go! Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adrienne Keyser and I'm your over 50s fashion diva. Here on my channel, I like to cover fashion, beauty, lifestyle, travel, and anything that's trending in social media that's relevant to all of those topics. So if you want to stay relevant over 50, then you come to the right place. Before I get started, I wanted to show you a few of the reference photos that I utilized while creating the look. This is one of them. I also love the colors of this one. And finally, there's this photo. I really enjoyed the scales on it. So those are the looks that I was referencing while creating my dragon makeup look. I did create an outfit of the day for Lunar New Year, and that video will be going up very soon. So make sure that you subscribe so that you'll get a notification when I upload it. Throughout the video, you will hear my neighbor's dog barking. He is a puppy. He's only about a year old, and they leave him chained up outside all day and night. He's just discovering his voice. So unfortunately, there will be a lot of barking throughout the video. I do apologize. You can still hear me. There's not a problem there, but it is a little bit of a background sound that can get a little annoying at times when I'm filming. Using my new camera for the first time filming this video, I'm very excited about it. My lighting, I'm still not happy with, but we're gonna get there. I just placed an order on Amazon for a few additional items in order to get a little bit better lighting. Before I really get into like the dragon part of the makeup look, I am going to be filming some other content. I'm going to do something that's sort of dragon-like with the eyes and the rest of the makeup, and then when I finish filming the other content I need to film, then I'm going to come back and finish like the actual dragon-esque parts of the makeup look. But I really have no idea. I really have no idea how I'm gonna create this look. I'm just going to kind of wing it a little bit. I think prep the skin. I did do skincare earlier today, so right now I'm just going to add a couple of drops of, this is the Danessa Myricks, the beauty oil. Just a couple of drops of that. Literally like 2, 3, that's probably enough. Just to make sure that the skin is still hydrated from when I did my skincare this morning. It's now, what, after 5, almost 6 o'clock in the evening. And next I'm going to prime my face. I'm going to use the First Aid Beauty Pore Be Gone Matte Primer. Do a little bit of that. Also, this is not a sticky primer. It's just a hydrating one. Well, it says that it's mattifying actually. Pore Refining Matte. Next, I'm just going to powder my face with just a smidgen of powder, like barely any powder. Now I'm gonna do the eyes first, and the reason is because with the colors that I'm using, in case there's any fallout, I'll be able to get rid of that before I do the face. And in order for me to do the eyes first, I want to start with the brows. And now that I've put on this sort of slick primer and some oil all over the face, it'll just make it a little bit better when I go to do my brows, to have it a little tacky. not as slippery. Does that make sense? I hope so. I am going to be using my Fenty Beauty. This is the Pro Filter Powder, and it's in the shade Cashew. And I'm also gonna be using, this is an It Cosmetics big fluffy brush. And when I say a small amount of product, I really mean like, I'm gonna tap my brush in it and try to dump some back in here. You see all that powder just falling out? You don't need all that. Now I've got the cap, and I'm going to kind of disperse the product through the brush like that. You can see all of the extra just coming off. You do not want that much. I've got this much in the cap. I'm just gonna put that back in the container and then still keep knocking it off. I'm really just adding the smallest amount just in order to get rid of some of the slip all over, focusing on the eyes. Another reason that I want just the smallest amount of powder is because I am gonna be putting more cream products on the face, so I don't want it to be loaded up with powder. Otherwise, it's going to mix in with your cream products and it's not gonna be good. Still working out all the features of the camera, trying to figure out, and I keep looking at the monitor just to make sure I'm filming. I'll get used to it. I will get used to it. Now I'm going to focus in on just doing my brows. And for that, I'm gonna use the Anastasia Brow Wiz. And if you saw my live, which I know many people didn't, it was pretty long, but I did do a live, and in that live, I tested out for the first time the Anastasia pencil compared to my NYX, and I like it. I don't think I'm gonna do my brows on camera because they just take forever. I will be right back once the brows are done, and we'll move on to the next thing. My brows are done. I did go in and use the Glossier Brow Flick in the shade brown as well as the Anastasia pencil. So now I'm ready to go ahead and carve out my brows. And for that, I'm gonna use my NYX Jumbo Pencil in white. I am working off a reference photo. This is what it looks like. And if you can see, I'm not gonna be doing all of the halo in the middle, but as you can see, she has white highlight under the brow. That is why I'm going to go in with the Jumbo Pencil. Also, I'm gonna cover the entire eye because I want the colors to really pop. I'm just gonna put on a little bit. Then I am going to use this small little Aveda lip and contour brush just to get really close to the brow and carve it out. It doesn't have to be perfect for now. That's just what we're gonna do to, like I said, carve out the brow and just to lay down a nice layer of white. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye off camera. All right, be right back. We're gonna set the Jumbo Pencil. For that, I'm gonna use my Natasha Denona palette. This is the Metropolis palette. And the shade I'm gonna use is this one here. I will put all of the information in the description box so that you know the shades that I'm using. I'm gonna use just this little Morphe brush here. It's a big fluffy brush. And before I actually set it, I need to make sure that it's smoothed out. And for that, I'm just gonna use my finger just to blend out the Jumbo Pencil a bit. Ugh, that dog is so annoying. And then I'm just gonna set the entire lid with this. Has a bit of shimmer, which is exactly what I wanted. Focusing it mostly at the brow bone, but then we're just setting the whole eye with it. Blend out the front a little. Just like that. All right, I'm gonna do the other eye. I'll be right back once I blended out the second eye and set it. Next, I'm going to use the e.l.f. This is the Earth and Oceans palette. And I'm going to start with this light shade of green here. We're going to start with that. I don't know if you noticed I have all my brushes back here. This e.l.f. crease brush, and I'm just going to make that sort of the transition color. And remember, us ladies of a certain age, don't close your eyes. Make sure you're looking straight at where you're placing your shade. You don't want your transition shade ending up, you know, in your crease and you can't see it. Now that I'm laying this down, it's a little more shimmery than I would like. I do have a backup, but you gotta go with the color once you lay it down. Go ahead and finish it, and then I have another palette that has similar shades but more of a matte formula. And that is this NYX. This is the Ultimate palette. I'm actually gonna start with this one here. And using the same brush, I'm just gonna go over that color and matte it down. I'd rather have the brow bone have a shimmer to it, but not the whole look. I'm gonna go ahead and get the transition shades on and be right back to go in with the next shade. Next, I'm gonna go in with the darker green shade here on the corner. I'm gonna find another brush. I have this Veda brush. It's like a long, tapered round brush. A little lower down, right into the crease with that darker shade. Up just a little bit so that you'll still be able to see it once you open your eye. Can you see? Now I'm just gonna do the other eye and keep deepening it until it gets to the intensity that I want. And then I'll be back to get into the next color. Sticking into the NYX palette, I'm gonna go in with this yellow color, and I'm gonna do that all over the lid. And I'm gonna use this large Aveda eyeshadow brush. If you've ever worked with yellow, you know that's a tough color. It's gonna take me several layers to get it to the intensity that I want. I'm gonna be doing some blues, some dark blues in the very, very crease, and then figure them out here on the ends and underneath. We'll get there, we'll get there. Also, I do go in and make sure that I'm blending it out. Like I used this another clean contour and lip brush by Aveda and just went right around and make sure that I'm blending each color as I go. All right, so be right back. Still going with the Ultimate palette. I'm going to dip into this dark blue shade here and going to go right in between the yellow on the lid and that darker green color. Be very specific of where you're placing it. Again, with the eye open, you want to make sure you're getting it placed exactly where you want it. And it really should help for the darker green color to pop. Oh, I'm sorry, I have this on a Morphe brush. It's like a flat eyeshadow brush, so that way you can really precisely place it where you want it. And I want it right in between the green and the yellow. See where I'm going with that? Gonna just keep building it up and remembering to go in and using the brushes that you've used so far. I've got all my brushes right here in front of me. Make sure you're blending each layer as well. I will be back once I've got the intensity that I want, as well as finish both eyes. Going back to my e.l.f. Earth and Oceans palette, and I'm going to use this shade called Abyss. Right here on the end. Really dark blue. Also a very matte, and I'm using a very small, it's a very small eyeshadow brush. And I'm just going right, literally, if I'm looking straight, I'm going right in the crease, right there. That's where I want it. Just below the other blue from the NYX. That will. So when you open your eye, you can see it's right inside the crease, which is really just making the blue above it a little more pronounced. So that's what we're gonna do. Going in with Abyss. I know this is a lot of shadows, but this isn't a look that we're creating for every day. I mean, this is very specific for the Lunar New Year. And it being the year of the dragon. So this isn't just, oh, let's do a neutral look. I can do those all day. But as a makeup artist that has not been working as much as I would like, it's just fun to get back into really creative looks. Especially when the majority of the looks that you do for clients is, you know, a little more tame. It's not this intricate. You know what I'm saying? So this is just me having some fun and really creating something basically for you guys. That's who I'm creating it for. And then just going back and forth between the two blues, making sure you're blending. You know, once I have my blue blended, then I can go back into my dark green blend that right over the blue. Hopefully I'm not blocking, sorry. I'm basically just very gently blending out those edges, no harsh edges. And I've got the other green brush, not adding any more product. This is strictly just to blend. Then I'm blending out the edge of the darker green with the lighter green. And then finally going in with the, where is it? Is this the brush? Oh well, I have a blender brush. And then blending out that green. So each time I put down a new color, I still go back through and do a blend. See where we are? Then you can also take the yellow and tickle it right along that dark blue. Again, blending any harsh edges. Just like that. Blend, 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 blend. And then I'm just gonna do the other eye, and I am gonna do a little bit of the under eye first. Maybe, we'll see. Like I said, I'm winging this whole look, you guys. Back after I finished doing the other eye with the dark blue. A little bit of tissue. I'm just cleaning up under the eye. And then also do a little cleanup here on the edge. Not too much because we're gonna basically be putting our foundation and concealer on. Do the under eye in a little bit. But first we're gonna do the face next. Start the face with the contour. And I actually have a little sample. This is the Kat Von D Locket in the shade Deep 85 Warm. I don't know why people don't use these little samples. I have like tons of them. And I actually do use them. There's no point in wasting product. You have the product. Find other uses for it. Just because the foundation that they send you in those little samples isn't your shade doesn't mean that you can't use it for other things. You know, if there's a shade that's too light, maybe you can use it as a concealer. I mean, look at how much product is in there. It's so much product. Why not use it? And this, you only need a smidge. This stuff is hella powerful. I only need like that much. Literally that much product is enough. And you'll see. That's actually probably too much product. Just gonna lay it down. That's even too much product. But I have the other side of the brush to blend it out. I may actually need another brush. You saw how I dipped in there. It was barely anything, and that stuff is mega powerful. So that's why I still keep using it, because there's so much product in there. I could probably use that for months and never run out of product. Get another brush. I have this It Cosmetics little brush. Just gonna blend everything and keep going on my face. Be right back. Next up is gonna be concealer. I'm going to first go in with my Fenty Beauty, and this is in the shade 300. Just like that. Then I'm gonna go in with this Flower Concealer. This is the Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer. And this is in the shade Vanilla. And I want just a little bit right on the inner corner of the eye right there. That's where we want it the lightest. So just a little bit, then we're gonna let that set. In the meantime, I'm going in with this Dull 10. This is the Hydrogel Cream Balm in the shade Innocent Flush. I'm going to use Laura Geller Angled Synthetic Dual Fiber Blush Brush. I've hit pan on this bad boy. Just a little here. Right above our contour. And I always like to go across my nose. I know that's not for everyone, but that's how I do it. And I'm gonna keep this brush on standby. I'm not adding any more product. I'm just sweeping it on. But once I blend out my concealer, I may need a little bit more, to add a little bit more. But for now, we're just gonna go with that. I'm ready to blend out my concealer. And I'm actually gonna use this Coastal Scents, this flat eyeshadow brush. Make sure you sharpen up those edges. A little bit down the nose. You don't need extra product, you have enough. And highlight on the chin. Blend that out. That's enough for now. We'll do some more blending once we get our foundation on. For this, I'm going to be using the Danessa Myricks. This is the Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint in the shade Radiance. And for this, you need very little product. I'm just gonna put it on the back of my palette here. And I'm going to use this Morphe flat paddle brush, foundation brush. Just gonna go over everything that we just laid down. The concealer, the contour, the highlight. Forget to go over that concealer. That will help to blend it out. Looking in the camera, I can see that that concealer is still looking a little light. So I'm just gonna go over it a little bit more so that it really blends in. I'm also gonna sculpt right here by the shadow. See? Right in here. Very lightly. You don't want to disturb all that work you just did on those eyes. But you do want it to blend just like that. Here we go. Here's a little Morphe brush. Looks like that. And I'm going to go in with my Beauty Bakery flour. This is the flour setting powder in Oat Translucent. And I am going to use the smallest amount, just like we did originally when we were powdering down our primer. Just like I just tapped into it. There's so much product. So much product. I'm putting that back into the container and then using the lid, swishing everything, dust off as much as you can, because us ladies over 50, you know how we crease under the eye and you don't need all that extra powder. I am gonna go back in with the Morphe foundation brush, press out the creases very gently, then go in with your brush and lightly dust. Same thing, go into the second eye, pat out the creases, and just light dusting, just to set it so that it doesn't crease. And I mean, really light dusting, just like that. We're gonna go into our blush before I set the rest of the face. Let's see, I don't think I need too much more. I'm just gonna add a little bit more cream blush there. Not too much, because we did already set the under eye and there's powder under there, so we don't want to use too much of the cream blush, but I hate to waste product. I'm gonna go in with this little no-name chubby brush, and I'm gonna use my LA Colors palette. Brush palette, this is Color and Contour by LA Colors. And I'm just gonna go into this little guy right here. He looks good. Just gonna set that cream blush. You know, us ladies over 50, we don't need too many powders, so it's better to set your makeup with the powders that you're gonna use. Now, I'm not really a let's add any extra to the contour. That's just not my life. I don't really go over my cream contour. I just let it contour the way that it is. It doesn't need any additional powder. Before we powder the whole face, I'm gonna go ahead and do the under eye. I'm gonna start with the blues. Going back in with the brushes that I had before, I'm gonna start with the lighter blue from the NYX palette. This shade here, I have the same brush, dipping in. Right on the lash line. Then I'm gonna go back into the e.l.f. palette, into that dark blue, same brush we had before. Going into Abyss, picking up just a little bit of that. And that I'm gonna run really more towards the waterline. Just like that. We're gonna go in with the green. I need a smaller brush. We'll do another. I have a ton of these Aveda contour and lip brushes. So then we're gonna go back to the NYX palette, to the dark green shade. We're gonna place that just below the blue. And we're going to also kind of attach that to the top lid. Then we're going to finish with an even smaller little brush. This is a Morphe brush. And we're gonna go back into that NYX palette, get that light green, and we're gonna run that right under the darker green. And then just keep going back and forth until you get the intensity that you want. Also, what I noticed in the photo, that they carried the dark blue on the upper lash line. So I'm gonna add that as well. Going back into that dark blue in the e.l.f. palette, taking that Abyss, and I'm just going to bring that in a little bit on the upper lash line. Just a little there. Bring it across so that it blends. Same thing on the other eye. And don't forget to go back into your yellow shade and blend that. Just like that. There's really no reason to do a liner on the upper lash line. I'm just gonna do a little bit of black. This is the LA Girls Perfect Precision eyeliner in the shade Very Black. That's what it looks like. I'm just going to line the waterline. And I'm also going to tight line the upper lash line. Actually ran out of space on my camera, but I did just do a few little things just to finish off the look so that I could go ahead and film another video. I actually was just filming a video for the Balenciaga Kim Kardashian, that whole kerfuffle that's going on the internet right now. But anyway, I just want to let you know what it is that I did off camera, which wasn't much, by the way. I went back into the e.l.f. palette, and there is this stunning color. It's called Tundra. And that's what I put into the inner corners of my eyes. I just put on my e.l.f. Ride or Die lip balm in the shade Boss Berry, and that's basically how I finished the look. When we come back, I'm going to get into the dragon aspect of this makeup look. All right, be right back. I took my wig back off because I'm getting ready to do the scales part of my dragon look, and I'm gonna have to put on the fishnets. So the first thing I need to do, put on the fishnet. I'm just going to go in with the two palettes that I started with and start creating this look. I'm gonna start with the e.l.f. Earth and Oceans palette, and I'm gonna go in with Abyss. And I have several brushes here, flat brushes. This is like a little no-name brush. I'm just gonna tap into it. This is the one I use for my blush. And we're gonna go just like we would our contour. And you wanna pat, not rub it. You wanna pat it in. Most importantly, you want to make sure you don't move the fishnets in between your application. Very important. So now I'm going to go in with the NYX, and I'm going to start with the dark green shade because we're building building shades at this point. I can't move my thing, but it's the one that's down here in the corner. All right, I have another brush. Dip into that and just go right over the blue. And build it up. You want some of the blue still showing, but build up that green. I may need to use the green in the e.l.f. palette as well, because that's just not showing up the way I want. So yep, going in with the greens. Once I have that built up, I'll be back for the next color. Another brush, a little flat brush. This is an e.l.f. brush. And I'm going to go into the lighter greens in both palettes. The two lighter greens. Pick that up. Not easy when the pans are super tiny like this, but I'm gonna do my best. And the thing about the one in the e.l.f. palette, it has a shimmer to it. So that's kind of what I'm trying to go for. And just go right over that green. We're building color here. Little touch of the light blue from this palette. Not easy to get that one color, but I'm gonna try. Just a little bit, see what we get. With the light blue over it. This may come out like a big muddy mess, but we're gonna try. Now I have another clean brush. I'm gonna go into the gold in this palette. We're basically just building it closer to the eye. That's the plan. So each layer was going a little closer to the eye so that you can get each color like a rainbow. Or dragon scales. All right, I think that's all I'm gonna do with that. I've got some other plans once I take the fishnet off. So let's do the reveal. So nervous. Oh, can you see? That looks cool. Let's see if I can zoom in. That came out really cool. All right, I've got a few more things to add to it to give it that little extra something. So be right back. I'm actually gonna put glitter on next. And in order for it to stick, I'm going to be using Ben Nye setting spray. It's actually in this Mario Badescu bottle. And if you know Ben Nye setting spray, that is some sticky, sticky setting spray. I'm just gonna put that all over. And then I have this stunning glitter. This is by Labelle UK. Oh, focus, focus. And it's this stunning glitter with hollow in it. So I'm just going to dip my finger in. I'm gonna go around the blue shade. So that the blue kind of pops out a little more. You see? And also the blue, you know, it didn't come out as, you know, scale-like. So adding the glitter will help it kind of pop out a little more. And you do want to blend it. You don't want it to just be like, hey, she just put like these big stripes of glitter there. So use a different finger, blend it down a little bit, like that. We'll have this other intense hollow glitter. Hopefully, okay, there's camera's focusing. And since I don't want to put on another layer of that Ben Nye, I'm just gonna use my Fenty mist. This is the What It Do mist, which kind of rehydrates the Ben Nye, so it'll re-add that sticky to it. And then we're gonna pop that hollow. Oh, it's so gorgeous. It's got such big flakes. We're gonna kind of do it in the middle. Like that. Now, because the scales came out so much better on this side, I don't want to do as much of the glitter to mess that up on this side. I really want you to be able to see the scale. So I'm going to leave it there like that. I'm going to do one more, which is a gold, just like a pure gold glitter. And that we're going to do over the yellow part, more like the high points of the cheek. This side really just didn't do as much as that side. So all my photos will be from this side. Wig back on, and I'm gonna do the lips. I'm gonna start with, this is the Essence Soft Contouring Lip Pencil in the shade, this is in the shade Under My Skin. Finish with the lip. This is the LA Girl. This is the lip mousse in the shade Unstoppable. This is what it looks like. Basically doing a rather nude lip is the point. You really want the scales to be the star. No gloss on the lips, there's enough shimmer. We also have enough setting spray from earlier when putting on all the glitter. But that is the final look for my Lunar New Year, Year of the Dragon. That's the way we're gonna finish it, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that this gave you a little inspiration to do something fun, think out of the box, and create, a really fun makeup look. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Make sure to comment and share, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video. And until next time, you better believe it. Bye! We're gonna go ahead and set the why can't I say the jumbo pencil? We're gonna set the jumbo pencil